Hey, what up, guys? Just was talking with someone last week at the gym about something I wanted to kind of share with you guys. It's a cool little story. I guess, I don't know, a little bit of background on me and why we train. So, a lot of people say you should never train for other people. You know, you should never get in shape or decide to start working out or, you know, better yourself for anyone else, that you should do it for yourself. People are always like, you should, you know, if you're going to do this, you should do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. True and not. The truth is, any reason to get started is a good reason. If it's because, you know, you want to become more attractive to someone else, or to prove a point, or prove people wrong, or you know, if you get in shape for your kids, you know, so you know, some people like are overweight and literally their kids are embarrassed, you know, to be seen with them and stuff like that, you know, and just things like that. When it comes down to it, any reason to start training, start changing your life is a good reason. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to do it for yourself, because eventually it becomes for yourself. Once you reach a certain point, you know, you're either gonna stop once you've reached the goal that you're shooting for, which is impressing someone else or whatever, or that person is no longer in your life, or the reason you were training for is no longer you know, a present issue. Eventually it will become for yourself. In my experience, I mean, you develop a relationship with the training that is like no other. You know, it's something that you look forward to, and that you eventually you do want to do it for yourself. You enjoy doing it. You enjoy the feeling of accomplishment. So in that sense, it ends up becoming for you. But there's no wrong reason, you know, to start changing yourself for the better. Any reason is a good reason. Just a little anecdotal story for that. The reason I originally got in shape was actually, you know, I'd always wanted to. I was always into fitness. I'd always admired. I loved the magazines, and I loved looking at transformation photos. I used to buy the magazines just for the supplement ads that had transformation photos. Right, and it was a big dreamer, because I was a heavy kid all the way up until my senior year in high school. I was probably 70, 80 pounds overweight. And so yeah, little story about training for other people. I'd always wanted to get in shape, but nothing had pushed me to that level. You know what I mean? Nothing had pushed me to actually do it and stick with it. I had maybe lost 10 pounds here or there or whatever, and then went right back up, and usually got bigger than I was to begin with. There's a lot of that, you know, when starting out. There's a lot of yo-yo dieting, going back and forth, gaining, losing, because you're not focused, and you're not doing it right, and you don't have an end goal in mind. But so I was dating a girl. This was my junior year in high school, and I made a huge fallacy. I snuck and I read her diary. Right, I was dating this girl, and I already kind of felt like she was out of my league at that point. You know what I mean? I was really overweight, kind of like a social introvert. I don't know. Wasn't very outgoing. You know what I mean? I had kind of a chip on my shoulder. I don't know. I just automatically thought that everyone thought of me the way they saw me, and that was how I thought of myself. You know, in a negative way. You know, overweight, out of shape. You know, Anyway, snuck into read her diary when she wasn't home one day, and it said some things that really hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? It was like, she liked me, she liked spending time with me, she loved me, whatnot, but she was not attracted to me physically. And I don't know, man, it kind of hits home, when someone like that you're really close to is thinking that way about you. You don't want people to think that way about you, especially someone you care about. So that was actually my breaking point. I decided then and there that, I was going to make sure that she didn't think of me that way, or no one thought of me that way. Because, people, a lot of times they won't say things outright or to your face. They don't want to hurt your feelings. But, that gave me an insight into what people really think or people really thought about me physically. So that gave me the final push, to really stick with something. Within that next week, I was watching what I ate. I started running. I got, really into cardio. I didn't know exactly what I was doing back then, you know what I mean? I probably could have saved a lot more muscle than I had. I was lifting weights, not very, with not much intensity, but I was killing the cardio, killing it. And over the course of 3 to 4 months, I started out running on the treadmill, right, like half a mile, I think, dying, like gasping for air. By the end of that 3 or 4 months, I was running 5 miles on the treadmill, fine, and then going on with my day. It's just a process, and you get to a point, once you start seeing those changes, once you start seeing those big changes, and other people start to recognize those changes, it gives you that motivation to keep going. So there is no bad reason to start. I started to impress a girl, you know what I mean? Eventually it becomes for yourself. I fell in love with it, this is what I do now. This is my entire life's ambition, is to, be in the fitness industry and, teach people the right, healthy way to, live a healthy lifestyle. And, so, thank God for that, thank God I read that girl's diary, 12 years ago, where it was 10 years ago. God changed my life. So don't let anyone tell you not to start for any certain reason. If you want to start to impress people, to prove people wrong, just to change people's perception of you, then do that. It'll eventually become, it'll become about you, and that's what counts. So that's my advice. Take it or leave it. But I don't believe that crap about, don't change for anybody else. Just do it. Just get moving. It doesn't matter the reason. Get moving. Alright. I'll talk to you guys later.